Hello, and welcome to MVAO 202, MainView AutoOPERATOR Performance and Execs. This is Part 2. MVAO 202 is the fifth in an 8-part series of courses covering MainView AutoOPERATOR. AutoOPERATOR provides tools to assist you with tuning your automation implementation. The primary vehicle is something we call Automation Reporter. We'll talk about that extensively as we go forward. Another underused function is a BBI command called .d space SSR. And if you look at the output listed here, the last line has a statement that starts with IM1005D. DX, AUTX, abends, and then called CPU. So the called there is the number of rules that were actually fired in this iteration of AutoOPERATOR, and the CPU is the total number of CPU seconds that were generated in address spaces that caused rules to fire. Automation Reporter generates statistics for many automation activities with AutoOPERATOR, including actions that are generated from rules and execs, alerts, events, rules themselves, information about rule sets, and then we provide information about execs, including the various statement types that are executed within those execs. Additionally, Automation Reporter provides information on AutoOPERATOR's CPU and storage usage. To implement Automation Reporter, there are three things that need to be done. In the UBB parm library, we need to update two parm members. The first is AAO ARPXX, and there we need to specify IRHIST equals yes. In the UBB parm BBI ISP XX member, we need to be sure we have an interval value specified there. The parameter is IRRI, and the default value is 15 minutes, which is probably what you're going to want to use in most instances. The third thing that needs to occur is you need to verify that the AutoOPERATOR started task JCL has at least 3 HIST-DS statements in it. If you don't have those statements, talk to your installer of MainView and they can assist you with that update. To access the Automation Reporter from the AutoOPERATOR main menu, we'll select option P, which is shown at the bottom of the screen. And here's an example of the resulting display. This is the EZAO menu that shows Automation Reporter in the upper left, so we'll place our cursor on Automation Reporter and press Enter. The Automation Reporter menu has a listing of all the various things you may want to track automation by on the left side of the screen. So we can see our automation by different actions that we take. Maybe we want to look at them by the rules or the rule sets. We also have the ability to look at the exec resource utilization if we look into the middle of the screen. But for now, what we want to do is take a closer look at the rules data. The ARRULES view lists all of the rules available in the current context, so you can see how many times they were fired, any execs that they invoked, and if for message or journal rules, you'll see the text ID that's being qualified for the event. You'll also notice at the top of the display, there are 4 rules called filter. Those indicate the number of rules that were qualified passing the filter for the rule set in that record. We can also see the rules available for all of the systems connected via the CASPlex. Here you can see we have a context of all, so now we're looking at all of the rules available for all of the systems that are connected to the MVCAS. If we find a rule of interest, we can zoom in on it and limit the display to just that rule. We can use the MainView time command to show 5 hours worth of data by using time on the command line and then populating the panel that comes up. In this instance, we're going to say 5H for the duration. When we hit PF3, now you can see we're seeing 5 hours worth of data for that rule. So we can see what the fired count was over time and look for any anomalies when maybe it fired too much or maybe not enough. The automation reporter can also give us information about our exec activity. So here we'll see a list of all the execs that are available to the auto operator environment. And then we give you the run count, so how many times those execs were executed, as well as metrics about the CPU and elapsed time. We can also look at the performance of an exec over a period of time, such as 5 hours. So in this case, we're looking at an exec CSM link and how many times it ran, as well as the CPU and elapsed time over some period of time, in this case, 285 minutes or 5 hours. In the ARXCMDSD view, we can see a breakdown of the exec's use of IMFEXEC statements. There was one column here, IMFEXEC General, which is a catch-all for a whole bunch of different types of exec statements. So what we're going to do is show you how Automation Reporter will break that down into the various types. So if we drill down into it, we're going to see all the various types of exec commands and statements that can be run. And we'll get a nice count of each of those. So this could be a handy way of seeing what your exec is doing at a high level without having to go in and look through all the code. The ARRLSET view will give us a list of all of our rule sets and the performance information related to them. So here we can see how many rules are in each rule set, how many times a rule within that rule set fired, how many times events were filtered, and then some information about how many unsuccessful compares there were and how much time it took to execute those. That concludes MainView AutoOPERATOR Part 2.